Joe?
All right, Holly, thank you. Well, Congress is turning its attention from Syria and back to the country's budget. House leaders have postponed a vote scheduled for today that would keep federal agencies operating. Schools here in Florida are fighting back against bullying. Every school district has a bullying policy. If your child is being bullied, talk to a school administrator and file a written report immediately. New information this morning about the domestic dispute between George Zimmerman and his wife. Shelley Zimmerman and her attorney are sharing her side of the story. They say they had an agreement with George that he would not be at the house when she went to collect her belongings, but that George showed up and started taking pictures. Because you're keeping me you're keeping me in the dark. I want to know what's going on, because with all the screening to get in the airport, what are TSA, what are these agents missing? Because these guys are getting on planes. It's happening. Right. You're right, they do hurt.
Joe's wearing the men's version of Manx right now.
I couldn't find mine, so ashamedly I'm wearing my wife.
Wow, Joe. Had
All right.
Probably more than you wanted to know. Thanks, Ashley. We'll see you tomorrow.
And that was apropos because the producer said wrap up, so technically that's what they do.
The EOD-9 disposal suit, 90 pounds of protective armor in 95-degree August heat. Combined with this tool called a disruptor, my objective was to walk out to the package, set up the disruptor, and most importantly, not pass out.
Is there a time limit? If you're going to go down range and work on a package, if you're down there for 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and have somebody already suited up, so when you're coming back, he or she's going back down range, because you can't stay in this thing for too long, especially in this heat. It's not problematic.
After gearing up, which would usually be done by 3 techs, Special Agent John makes sure I'm fully secure and offers an encouraging phrase often used to show a little levity.
And I got a bad feeling about this one. That's usually what I say.
You got another saying?
Now, when I mentioned Mork and Mindy to my 4 daughters, they have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about. But when I mentioned Jeannie from Aladdin, yay! Yeah, they go absolute nuts. And it's been 32 years since Mork and Mindy was on. Were you more nervous that first day on the set of Mork and Mindy or the first day of the Crazy Ones?
No, I wasn't nervous the first day on the set of Mork and Mindy because I was on everything but skates at that time. So I was like, hey!
Well, the woman who was stabbed more than 30 times by her boyfriend at her Clearwater home will appear on Inside Edition this morning. Melissa Dome has come a long way since the incident last year. One of the paramedics that helped save her life is now her boyfriend. Time now is 5:34, and U.S. Senator Bill Nelson is asking congressional leaders to put aside their differences and pass cyberbullying legislation. Nelson hopes the bill will help keep bullying from taking another life like 12-year-old Rebecca Sedgwick.
Busch Gardens is unveiling something new today.
The name of its baby rhino. 10 News anchor Joe Gumm got the tough assignment today. He's live at Busch Gardens. Joe?
That's exactly right, guys. And when you do an assignment like this, you got to use a voice like this, right? Yeah, well, okay, maybe I'll switch back to my normal voice. But yes, that's exactly right. We're at Busch Gardens today. A little cool outside, but really a cool event today. About 2 hours ago, I'm going to bring in Jason Green. He's the assistant curator right here. And Jason, what did we do a couple of hours ago? If you want to hear me scream like a little girl, get ready, because I'm about to do that, and hopefully we won't have too much traffic. And away we go. Elliot, I have 4 daughters and a wife. I love them dearly, and they're expecting to see me back at home later on today. I know men who will literally, for the NCAA tournament, spend hours, maybe days, trying to figure out their brackets. Fantasy football, same thing. They'll spend hours, but they won't spend 1 second online researching anything that has to do with vaccines. But is she right about that, doing research? Parents
Absolutely,
should be involved?
Parents need to do research. And in our house, you know, I'm a librarian, so I did the research and then I presented it factually to my husband. And then ultimately he left the decision in my hands and went along with whatever I had decided. And in our
you
house,
both talked about it. What a concept.
Yeah.
Communication.
I realize the folks back in the control room are trying to take control, but until the threat is there, we're staying on the air, folks. We're staying on the air.
It's a public safety issue.
It's a safety issue for Pinellas County.
No doubt. All right, so mics are good. Jim, continue coverage. Thank you. Well, McDonald's continues to jump on the healthy route. The fast food giant plans to offer side salads as a substitute for French fries with their value meals starting next year. Well, today the Senate will vote on an emergency spending bill that will avert a partial government shutdown next week. The Senate will likely remove a House provision defunding the Affordable Care Act.
I was ready to make my mermaid debut.
Big applause for Joe. There I was, a news anchor sitting proudly on an anchor, followed by a few minutes of entertaining the crowd, and then my official exit as a wiki-watchy merman.
Yeah, the biggest part of it, the job is just knowing that you're breathing underwater. It's like a scuba diver. And just getting the breathing down, and then performing, and then keeping the tail moving. I mean, it's
a workout.
You gotta be in shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She may best be known for playing Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and that's perfect because we're talking about the flu. She's also an excellent painter. I don't know if you do that or not. She's joining us now in studio this morning. It is a pleasure, Jane. We appreciate you joining us and talking about this. This is great.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I was told a couple years ago, my two older daughters said, why don't you just get Mommy a gift card because she doesn't like any of the gifts you get her. I was like, wait a second, what? She goes, she's returned them all. And I'm like, all right, we're going to do gift cards. I did not notice. I'm like, where's that thing that I got her? So I thought, you know what, that makes sense.
And you wear every tie that they get you.
100%. That's right. Ugly or not.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I once tried magic as a kid, trying to make my broccoli, carrots, and just about every vegetable that touched my plate for dinner disappear. My goal? To stop eating vegetables? Well, it was just like my career in magic. Short-lived.
Overall, I felt very comfortable doing the job of a magician. Maybe too comfortable, because before I left, I suggested a trick the teachers probably didn't like.
I'm going to do one more thing. I want to take all the final exams and put them up here. I'm going to make them disappear. Union members of the Lakeland Police Force take the first of two votes that will decide the future of Police Chief Lisa Womack. The first straw poll was held on whether to take a vote of no confidence in the chief, who has come under fire for her handling of sex scandals in the department.
And then Monday, Zimmerman arrested and charged with aggravated assault.
So he has certainly had a busy year. Well, meanwhile, today, Dante Morris will be sentenced for murdering two Tampa police officers. Morris was found guilty last week of shooting and killing officers David Curtis and Jeffrey Kokab back in 2010. President Obama is offering help to communities devastated by dozens of tornadoes that hit the Midwest. Twisters destroyed as many as 500 homes and killed 8 people. The cleanup continues this morning, but officials say it could have been worse. Accurate forecasting and early warnings helped save lives. Well, an elementary school in Milwaukee set up a fun week of spirit-themed days, but one theme drew complaints from parents who say it promoted homosexuality. Students in kindergarten through 8th grade were encouraged to participate in Gender Bender Day, where girls dress like boys and boys dress like girls. Some parents called the idea ridiculous and, quote, creepy. Others said no problem. So we wanted to see what our mom squad thought about it, and if they'd be okay if schools around here in the Bay Area had a Gender Bender Day. And our parents who complain making a big deal out of nothing. Those are several of the questions that we want our mom squad to answer this morning. Despite tough security at MacDill Air Force Base, we've learned a homeless woman was able to sneak onto the base 4 times. 10 News reporter Ashley Porter is at MacDill this morning. A middle school teacher from Orange County is Florida's Teacher of the Year. The award ceremony was held last night at the Hard Rock Live in Orlando.
You follow the rules at all times. If I tell you break clean. Timekeeper ready? Fight!
And after lasting a full minute and 10 seconds with 2 different fighters, my MMA hopes, dreams, past, present, and future all retired in the octagon.
And the winner, second round, just for showing up and giving such a great effort, Joe Gumm!
Jeez. I think you got a career in this.
Now, Joe, you did.
I hope not. Today, there's a public meeting on what's best for a new span of the Howard Franklin Bridge, specifically the northbound span that goes from St. Petersburg into Tampa. That opened in 1959 and is nearing the end of its serviceable life. The meeting will be held at the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority in St. Petersburg. The open house is from 5 to 7 p.m. with a formal presentation at 6. Also today, you can watch the St. Petersburg mayoral candidates square off right here on 10 News. Current Mayor Bill Foster and candidate Rick Kreisman will join us at noon to answer your questions. Allison will be the moderator for the debate. Watch it live at noon on air or on WTSP.com. Well, time now is 6:07, and House Republicans will meet behind closed doors this morning. They're discussing strategy for dealing with the government shutdown and how to proceed as the debt ceiling deadline approaches. On Monday, House Speaker John Boehner traded accusations with President Obama about who is responsible for the shutdown. The president called on Boehner to allow a vote on a bill to fund the government that is free of partisan amendments. Speaker Boehner wants the president to agree to changes in the health care law before any such bill is considered.
Put your foot on there.
Some advice.
You're going to hold it just like you would a pen or a pencil, but it's going to be a little bit bigger grip than you're used to.
And then choosing the ink I'll use.
The ingredients.
And after choosing our sacrificial lamb,
Oh, Jesus.
Reb's buddy Chris.
Yeah, he said, oh, Jesus, we better pray.
Shave this area right here.
I had to make sure he was properly groomed.
Never in my wildest dreams.
And in the final step, sketching the type of tattoo I would be inking.
Okay, so stretch the skin.
Stretch the skin. Press, not real hard. You see how the needle is coming out?
Right.
About half that distance in.
Okay.
And then just draw. Look at you tattoo. Look at that. You did a U.
I did a U.
I would then add the 2 M's and
wipe it off. And Joe, there's your first tattoo that you've done on somebody.
All right. How about that? Thank you, man. How do you feel? Did you change your mind?
I got a name on my leg.
Well, do you want to keep it now?
Oh, no, that's good. Cover it up.
He's going to cover it up.
I'm going to add a Y and put bear underneath it.